Thank you for joining me here on the Score on Air Network, brought to you by the Theater People. Tonight, I have the man, Eric Devendorf from the Syracuse University, joining me here in Columbus. You know I had to throw in you're playing Carmen's Crew, who's the reigning champion. You're in Columbus, so I have to throw a little bit of shade, to the
Yeah,
Columbus people. But Eric, thank you so much for joining me tonight. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking a little bit again. Thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to the interview, and I know you're looking forward to playing some basketball once again and getting out there. So, you know, the basketball tournament, it's going to be held here in Columbus, Ohio. Not a lot of people are very familiar with it. So, you've played in it multiple times. I've caught in the last couple years, and I'm always rooting for you on there. So, I guess in your own little words, like I've never heard of the basketball tournament. What is TBT? What does it do? What is the big thing about it?
Oh, obviously the big attraction would be the money. For guys this year, it went down a little bit, due to COVID and everything. So I think it's 1.2 million if you win. The previous years it was 2 million for each team or for the winning team. But it's high level basketball, man. It's a bunch of former college standouts and high level guys playing overseas in EuroLeague and different places in Europe, and former NBA guys. Obviously this year Joe Johnson is playing. I know Jarrett Jack was playing. I don't know if he dropped out or what, but it's a highly competitive tournament, man, and it's just fun too. Getting back with all the guys that you used to play with or guys that may have played after you or before you. And then for us, Syracuse, it's like a big family. So it's always fun to get together for these 2 weeks and get out there and compete with my brothers. And then, besides playing, just, being with them, hanging out off the court, it's a real good time. So it's a high level tournament, man. And it's really grown over the years. TBT has done a great job. This is year 7. And it just keeps on getting bigger each year with the sponsors and things like that. So it's something I look forward to every summer. It's a fun time, a fun couple of weeks, and hopefully we can go out there this year and make some noise.
Make some noise, but come on. Most importantly, was make some money for the gang here for
Right.
Bayheim's Army. I know you want to do that, so yeah. And I know even a little bit of yourself. You have ED23 Hoops. Kind of give me a little backstory of what you're what you're looking to do with that and what you're kind of looking to do with that in the future. Because I know that we were talking a little bit. I don't want to ruin the story about you being
Yeah.
back up at Syracuse, so I know you have something brewing up there.
Yeah. So, for me, my two passions in life are, basketball and giving back and helping out. So I just decided to, combine those two. And, ED23 Hoops is, me, training young kids, high school kids, college kids, pro guys, whatever it is. And, I do camps and clinics and individual workouts. We do a lot of charity stuff in the community. I have my own clothing line that I just actually put up there ago. So it's I loved it. I loved basketball. I wanted to stick with it somehow, and also this gives me the freedom to kind of do what I want to do with it. And as far as training the kids and running camps and different tournaments and stuff like that. So just me giving back to that younger generation, all this stuff I've learned from. We can go to my coach at Oak Hill, Steve Smith, one of the greatest high school coaches of all time, and then obviously at Syracuse with Coach Boeheim. I was able to soak up a lot of knowledge and gain a lot through my experiences. So it's only right for me to kind of share it with the younger generation. So now when they kind of go through in their journey and run into some things, then I could give them a heads up to where they know how to deal with it. So. I've been enjoying it a lot, man. The Syracuse community has done a lot for me. So it's been good, man. I got a lot of kids that I train and, obviously with the COVID, it's kind of slow right now, but, before that, I was doing a lot of camps and clinics and, just happy to give back to the community that's really done a lot for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And kids are going to be hungry to play some basketball right when this is back. So I think business is going to be booming, especially after you guys catch this W in the tournament, get a little pocket change, and
Yeah.
everything's going to go up. So For people out there that don't know him, I followed him his whole career at Syracuse, '05 to '09. Then you played overseas a lot. You played in New Zealand, Australia, Turkey, Ukraine, Greece, and then you also went to Israel. So out of all of those, what would you think that your favorite country was to play in?
My two favorite countries is to tie. It'd be New Zealand and Australia. Like those are the two, best places I've been in the world. They obviously it helps that they speak English over there, but just two beautiful countries, real laid back. I just love the atmosphere and the environment. Everybody's friendly, and when it's all said and done, I might try to pack my things up and head over there, especially with how things are going over here right now.
Hey, absolutely. I don't know. Have you seen any crazy animals that Australia has to offer you? Have you run into like some, what are they, like spider crabs or anything, any crazy animals like that?
Well, I saw the kangaroos, and they got big crocodiles over there, and they got huge bats, and obviously spiders and stuff like that. But I lived in Melbourne, so I was in the city, and so I didn't see a bunch of that stuff. But if you start, getting into the outback and things like that, you'll see bats hanging in trees and snakes in the grass and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of different animals out there, but it's a beautiful country, man. I suggest to anyone to definitely, if they can go out there and visit, they'll definitely, definitely enjoy it.
It is definitely on my wish list. That's for sure. All those crazy animals are kind of making me skeptical, but I need to go out there and surf, maybe golf a little bit. So,
Yeah, you
maybe
got it. Don't worry about the animals. They're not going to bother you. You don't bother them, they're not going to bother you.
I don't know. I'm a big man. They might see me as some sort of predator to them and just come out and attack me. So you never want to take your chances there. So I know obviously you played under the Godfather. You played under Jim Boeheim. You've coached
Yeah,
under Jim Boeheim. So no shortage of knowledge that has just been given to you from him. I
right.
guess I'll I'll go into this a couple times. What is it like playing under Jim versus coaching under Jim? What is it like? What is it like learning? What do you learn? Kind of like because obviously it's two different spectrums that you're coming from. He's not going to treat you, as a player. He's not going to treat you like a coach and vice versa. So what is it like
Right.
being able to do both under Jim Boeheim?
Well, as a player, obviously, I had a great time. He gave me a lot of freedom to just go out there and play. And he really likes guys who have a little bit of fire behind them. Guys who are passionate about the game. Who love to go out there and just compete as hard as they can. And I'm one of those guys. So, we bumped heads a few times, but me and we're the same type of person. He's super competitive, so he understands. And like I said, he gave me a lot of freedom to go out there and play my game. That's why I chose Syracuse. And then on the other end, the coaching side of things, obviously a little bit less pressure. I don't have to worry about their going out and playing, but just to be able to be in those meetings and be in the war room, breaking down film and, hearing what he has to say about the players and different teams. Unbelievable basketball knowledge, one of the smartest basketball minds ever. So, it's extremely grateful and blessed to be able to play for him, but then be able to coach under him as well. And just learned a whole lot, man. And the one thing I really took from him is just how patient and calm he is. And he has a cool demeanor about him. He never gets flustered, especially in situations where, it might be a tight game, a close game at the end. He's cool, calm, and collected, and you're going to write up the play and then make sure that the team goes out there and executes it. So, that's why he's, been at Syracuse for 46 years. It seems like he's been there for 80, but he's one of the greatest of all time, man. And just fortunate to be able to have played and then coached under him as well.
I hope he never leaves Syracuse. I
Yeah.
mean, what 5 or 6 years ago he says, "Give me 3 years and I'm out." But you got Buddy Boeheim there all of a sudden, so I have a feeling that he wants to stay a little bit longer. But Buddy Boeheim can stroke from the three. You are no stranger to that. And it's funny because I was looking at it, I was like, I just remember, Eric Devendorf being able to just wet from anywhere on, behind the arc. But it's funny because I just felt like he got shadowed because You played with Gerry McNamara, who was
Hmm.
number one in our school. You played with Andy Rounds a little bit. I know he's a little bit injury ridden with that. We had one guy in the early 2000s do it. You at fourth, and then I believe Demetrius Nichols. And you played with three. You played with three of those guys.
I played with all of them. Yeah, I played 1 year with GMAC. I played 2 years with D Nick, and I played 3 years with Andy. Andy he was hurt 1 year, but actually I was hurt that same year. We both tore our ACL. But yeah, all three of those guys were unbelievable players. And D Nick's, he's playing with us in the TBT. So excited to get back out there and go play with him again.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you and Jerry are both coaches. At one time we're both coaches at Syracuse, so it's awesome. It's just nostalgia sitting on the bench when I look at it during the games.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. What is it like playing with Gerry McNamara? I mean, I feel like let's be honest here. You got two white guys just absolutely stroking it. Really, like no one was really seeing it. I mean, especially Jerry's. You had some depth in there too, but I mean, you guys were ridiculous. What was it like playing with Gerry McNamara? You're the young guy. He was the old dog in there, so he definitely taught you some things. So what was it like playing with Gerry McNamara?
I was unbelievable from day one. He kind of took me under his wing, and we became real good friends, and we're still real good friends today. But I mean, we were one of the best backcourts in the country at that time. Whatever backcourt had to come in and face us, they were gonna, it was gonna be tough for them. And he's the same type of guy as me. Like he's a fiery. He's gonna get after you. He's not gonna back down. He's a fearless guy who's gonna go in there and throw his body around and get right back up when he gets knocked down. So I learned a lot from him, man. And we still talk today. He just texted me. He was just texting me yesterday. We were talking. So man, I was fortunate to get 1 year with him, and it was a great year. We won a Big East championship together. Yeah, man, I was fortunate to play with him.
I vaguely remember that because when you guys won it, that's when I was like, oh, Devendorf's going to be up here for the next couple years, so see you, Jerry. So I made my AIM, if you remember that, Big East Champs 23. And I was rocking that until, I don't know, I probably changed it like 6 months later because, I'm a teenager or, preteen, don't have any, ADD everywhere.
Right.
Now, the coolest thing I think was just, obviously just coming to Syracuse. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but what really stuck out to you? Like, why would you choose Syracuse? I mean, you go to Oak Hill Academy, that they do nothing but pump out stars, and it's and Boeheim doesn't really go too far out of the Northeast. I know, obviously, Melo, he came and got you. He comes and gets these people, but he likes to kind of stay in his realm. What made you choose Syracuse over the other schools that were looking at you?
Well, actually, I was committed to Michigan State my sophomore year, and the 2003, the year that Hughes won it, they came down and played at Michigan State, and I was at the game. And I just remember watching Melo and GMAC and Hakeem and Josh Pace and guys like that, Billy Edlin, and just getting up and down in the pace that they played with and the freedom that coach that I touched upon, that coach let them play with. It was really something that fit my game, So I remember, I had to call Coach Izzo and tell him that I was going to reopen my recruitment. And my AU coach made a call to the Syracuse basketball office, and they actually came down that next week to watch me practice in Detroit. And they offered me a scholarship right on the spot. It was Coach Boeheim, and at the time, the assistant was Troy Weaver, who's now the general manager for the Detroit Pistons. He was recruiting me, and they offered me a scholarship, and I took it right there. It was me. I was committed to Michigan State, so no one was really recruiting me at the time. Me being committed, so I reached out to them, and they came down right away, and that's how it was. That's how it went. They offered me a scholarship on the spot, and I was Cuse.
Hey, I love it. I'm in Columbus. I'm not a big Michigan State fan, so
yeah.
Personally, as much as I love Jimmy B, I don't think you could have picked the wrong one. Obviously, I'm glad you picked Hughes and stuck it, but between Izzo and Jimmy B, you'd have been sitting pretty. But everyone looks better in the orange and navy, so I'm not going to complain about that whatsoever. now,
Absolutely, absolutely.
now, who do you think was the best player that you played with at Syracuse?
The best player that I played with at Syracuse was Johnny Flynn. He was, if he didn't get hurt, then he'd still be in the NBA right now, and he'd be an all-star. I mean, he was just an unbelievable talent. His mindset was, he had that killer instinct in him. He was attacking you every time. He was athletic. He was fast. He was quick. He was strong. He was a smart basketball player. He had everything that you wanted in a point guard. And then, like I said, his mindset was really what separated him from everybody else. He was a dog out there. He was going at your throat. So he was a guy that was special. And, me and him in the backcourt together, we had a lot of success, man. And, if he wouldn't have got hurt, he still would be playing in the NBA right now for sure.
Absolutely. I remember Johnny Flynn and Paul Harris, that little era they had after you. Oh, that was nice. They were some bad men on that court, that is for sure. Now, to flip it on the other side, who do you think the best player that you coached while you were coaching at Syracuse?
So I coached 2 years. I was there 2 years. I would probably say Elijah Hughes. He's getting ready for the draft right now as we speak. So he's a talented guy, man. He has an NBA body. 6'5" guy who can shoot it real deep. He's sneaky athletic, more athletic than you'd really think. He's a good defender. I think he's going to have a long NBA career, and I'm looking forward to watching him and following him.
Yeah, he caught me by surprise. You would see him just kind of, just hit it from the three. But this year I felt like he put it on the floor a lot and would just drive it to the basket. He was our guy. He was our guy at Syracuse this year. He's definitely was the leader. I was hoping that he'd stay for one more. I knew that was kind of a pipe dream because he was balling all year and just very high up in the ACC rankings as well as nation. So I can't be too surprised. So I wish the best of luck to Elijah Hughes. So I just got to, like you said, it's a family. I know I was never a part of it, but I get heartbroken just as, maybe not as much as you guys during the games, but I'm definitely out there and I'm screaming and keeping my roommates up late at night when I'm watching the games. That's for sure. Now,
absolutely, I get it.
Now I had to save the best one for last, Eric. I know that we were kind of trading a little bit. So between the players that you played with and the players that you coached at Syracuse, who would be your starting five out of all those players?
So my starting five, who I play with and I coach. So at the point guard would be Johnny Flynn. Shooting guard would be Elijah Hughes. My small forward would be Demetrius Nichols. And let me see, my four-man. My five-man would be who would that be? Probably Fab Melo. Rest in peace, Fab Melo.
I was about to say R.I.P. to my man Fab.
And then probably at the four, I'd probably go with Tyler Lydon at the four. Just to give us a little a guy who can stretch the floor at the four position.
I'm kind of upset. I was hoping that you were going to be on there. Would you be? Are you the sixth?
We can put. Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't know we could put our. Yeah. So I'm gonna be at the two. I'm gonna sub in for E. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He's exactly. Elijah Hughes is the sixth man. I'll take that. I will take that all day.
Yeah.
So that's all I got for you, Eric. Again, thank you so much for your time today. It was awesome. Just talk a little bit of basketball, kind of see that side of it. Thank you so much for your time. Again, Eric Devendorf, catch this man doing nothing but dropping buckets here. When's your first game here? It's gonna be here Tuesday, tomorrow?
Yeah, we play Tuesday at 4 p.m.
Okay, Tuesday at 4 p.m. He's number 23. He made sure Malachi Richardson was not going to get that number. I did see that on the website, so you got to throw some respect to that. So again,
no,
guys,
he did. I gave him the number. I gave him 23.
Oh, you did?
I let him get it. Hey, I'm a good guy, man. I'm a good guy.
Okay,
that's my young fella. So I got to treat him right.
What number are you rocking?
I think 6.
Okay, going with the LeBron Miami. Gonna
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Well, guys, check out Eric Devendorf here at the basketball tournament. Probably going to catch a W against Carmen's crew. You know I have to throw some shade out there again for it. Check us out on Score on Air, the new generation of sports talk on the Score on Air network at Facebook. Eric, again, thank you so much for your time tonight, my man. Good luck on the tournament, and you know I'm going to be watching and screaming the whole time.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate the support, and I appreciate you having me on, and good luck going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so